The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. Chicago. Ask someone to picture the city, and they will have trouble coming up with a concise description. When people think of New York City, they think of skyscrapers, subways, and muggers. When they think of Los Angeles, they think of sun, smog, and traffic. When they think of Detroit, they think of cars, factories, and decay. But for those of us that know, there's only one thing we think of when someone mentions Chicago: vampires. And tonight, we tell their story. Good evening and welcome to McStabber Studios, Windy City After Dark. I am the storyteller, Shanky McStabber.
And I am Merlin, also known as Mama McStabber in Twitch chat, and I will be playing Jacqueline Doron of Clan Ventrue.
Hi, I'm Mischievous Red, and I'll be playing Isabella Caputo of Clan Toreador.
Good evening, I am the Ivy Raven, and I play Genevieve Schutz of Clan Gangrel.
I'm Urian, and I'm playing Roscoe Akers, Clan Tremere.
Hi, I am Brad, Timber Brad 411, and I'll be playing Nicholas Bowens of Clan Hakata.
I'm Gavin, and I play the Marcade of Clan La Sombra.
And when we were last with this coterie, they had a busy night. We'll just put it like that. Everyone was running around, like, dealing with all kinds of things. But the big things that came from it, well, first of all, Lamar met the madam. Got to bring that up. Jackie found out some info from the madam. Isabella got threatened a bit, just a little bit, it's okay, which caused Nicholas to frenzy. Roscoe got all the good info on Benway, and of course, Jenny over there, well, she got some info at a tendon ripper, but also she learned a little bit about Evan she didn't even know about, which adds an interesting angle. But where we pick up on this episode, Jackie has arrived at Cedric's office, where he does most of his business. And the secretary out front, the receptionist, has already sent her back to the door. And when you knock on the door, yeah, come on in.
She enters.
Hey, Jackie, have a seat.
Thank you, Cedric, for seeing me.
You said it was important, so let's...
She shuts the door and goes in and has a seat.
Let's see what you got tonight. I know you got something. You never come here without something.
What do you know of Antoine?
I mean, I'm not quite sure what you mean on that. What do you mean, what do I know?
Exactly that.
He's sent here from Europe?
Who sent him?
The clan.
He was sent from Paris. Who sent him?
He came here on clan business. No one individual sent him. It was consensus. It turns out a number of younger Nos, younger is a general term, by the way, younger in terms of status, were picked to make appearances in all the major cities to warn people. Some were sent New York, DC, even out to LA of all places, even though Vanavar's a fuck up. Vegas. He was the one who was sent here. Why?
It's my hometown, Cedric.
You can roll your composure and subterfuge, right?
Mm-hmm. It's not a lie.
Yeah, but he's going to try to read you. He's not as good as you are.
I do have impeccable lies, though.
And you can use that. I doubt he's going to get anything, but
Wow, with that roll, he might. Hang on. That's 5.
it just seems kind of odd. You've asked so many questions about him. He's bona fide. I'm not going to go into the full details about how I know, but he definitely was sent this way. Exactly for the reason I say. If he's from your hometown, you got a problem with him? You got a past experience that I should know about?
Not with him personally, at least, that I'm aware of in his current state.
Okay, that's kind of vaguely ominous. What do you mean by in his current state?
As a Nosferatu.
You're insinuating you knew him before he was a Nosferatu?
It is likely.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much I trust you, Cedric.
Oh, you're smart. I give you that. I mean, as I said, we're as close as we can be to friends, but you know how that works.
Exactly.
I am still Nosferatu, and I still am what I am.
If I asked you to take him under your wing, protect him, would you?
He is already under someone's protection.
I would like for him to be under yours.
That will cost, unfortunately.
How about information that no one else knows? Except for one individual, whoever made him.
I can't promise anything yet. I don't even know if I can get Wineka to turn him loose.
If you can, you will get that information. Whether I trust you or not.
I'll see what I can do. I can't control him. He is more difficult than usual right now.
Why does he have humans training to fight vampires?
Where did you hear that?
I have my ways.
You got to be real careful with that knowledge.
Of course, it's why I'm talking to you. I know discretion.
You know, I have my rat, my pet project.
Yes.
He has his pet project. It's not just kindred. Supernaturals in general. Why? Same reason we all do these little things. Keeps him busy. And ultimately, to our advantage. You see, a number of years ago, Clan Nosferatu was in this city did not take some of these precautions. And a large number of us died when somebody decided to flood the Undercity. So we had to come above ground again to avoid that. So we had to all each come up with our own method of protection to ensure that this shit doesn't happen again. Mine is armies of rats to keep me informed. His is his tent city and his army of humans.
It does concern me that he has an army of hunters.
I would be too. But don't worry, he has them well in control. They won't slip that leash. They can't slip that leash.
Really?
Quite really. In a literal sense, they will die if they try.
Did he do that himself, or did he cash in a favor?
He has his own resources. Unlike me, he has his, you see. I have mine.
I get you.
So,
Interesting.
he has taken his steps. He's not a fool. He still believes in the tower. He believes in the traditions and the masquerade. He's made sure he has his steps at his people.
That was my primary concern.
Will only go after targets he's designated. Now, if you want to play the worried game, let's play the worried game. Targets he's designated.
I know.
As long as he's loyal, it's okay, right?
Yep.
But given some of the stuff you've told me lately, let's just say I'm even more happy that he's done this. Because I have a feeling we're going to need him. That's why that shouldn't be spread around.
I understand. I haven't mentioned it to anyone else.
I'm sure there's a number of Archons and Justicars that would not agree with his plan.
Oh, I agree.
But it's also something most people won't account for. If it comes time for him to reap,
Indeed.
they're not ready for it.
Yes, well. When you survive as long as I do, as I am, within the clan I am, you pay attention. Try not to miss anything.
I'm going to say this for your safety here. Sit on that and don't talk about it. You're just mentioning it to him that you know.
I won't say a word.
You'd be in the lake.
I could probably survive that.
No, you'd be in the lake in pieces.
Mm.
No one has come out of the lake when he put him there yet. Just my advice.
I understand, but needless to say, I have my resources as well.
Oh, of course, we all do. We all have our connections.
Well, thank you, Cedric. But truly, if you can get Antoine under your protection, I will give you the information that no one else has, save for the one that made him.
No, if you'll let me. Like I said, he is more unstable than usual right now. He's playing his own game. And him and I are at odds. A bit. Our clan we're loyal to our brood. But sometimes that doesn't exactly mean sire to child, now does it?
Right. I get it.
Is there anything else?
That is all. That is all.
Are we on for chess this Sunday?
Absolutely.
Just making sure.
Absolutely.
You're getting better, but you got a ways to go.
Nah. I'll pick it up eventually. She says, "It's always a pleasure, Cedric. I feel like I can be a bit candid with you."
No. Again, as I said, we're as close to friends as we'll get. There's realities we both understand. We both know how it actually works.
Yes.
Things you probably will never tell me, and you can rest assured I've got my secrets too.
I appreciate your friendship, Primogen.
Yeah.
And she stands and leaves.
And as you head out, we're going to flash over now to, let's see. Nicholas, where are you at the moment?
I would imagine he is probably at the new business, getting his secretary from Vegas that he brought in to kind of help get everything started, get her acclimated to the new shop.
Okay. So, as you're standing there, there's a voice. You hear it clearly. Mr. Bowens, I would like a moment of your time, please.
Do I recognize the voice?
Nope. Never heard it. Totally new voice. Never heard.
I will. So Nicholas will go to a different room where he can sort of talk out loud. Go ahead.
I've been sent with a message for you.
From who?
No, I'm sure you'll understand when you get the message. It's a rather simple message. You were told to stay away from her. This is your last warning.
Tell him to bring his own messages next time.
I will pass that along.
If he's not too busy with his sister or cousin or whatever they do now.
Not quite sure what you mean on that, but I will
He
add that
will.
to the message, sir. Have a good evening.
You too.
And then the voice is gone.
So I'll send a group message to everybody. Our white suited friend's been in touch.
And
We may have a visit from him soon.
And Roscoe responds after Isabella, and?
Abnormally, there is a delayed response from Jackie because she was actually in meeting with Cedric when this message came through. She responds after Roscoe's and that is excellent because I would love to talk to that gentleman.
He seems to have figured out. Let me rephrase this. I know how he figured out, but he knows that I visited Zal recently. He's up to his old ways, making threats.
Isabella just responds, "How many people are out to get you? Amelia and this? Exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point, question mark.
I don't know if that would make me frenzy or not.
Oops.
When in doubt, storyteller says roll.
Yep. Woo!
You're going to wreck your new place already.
I imagine he punches a wall and just goes silent.
Yep, 5 was enough. You didn't fail a frenzy check, but yeah.
And Jackie responds, just more names to add to the list.
Genevieve adds in dibs on the arms.
And Jackie also sends, a threat to one is a threat to all.
Why do you want the arms?
Well, I mean, she responds with, well, we each get a piece of him. Lamar always takes the head.
Jackie says, I want that ass.
Genevieve responds with, are you sure you want his ass after he's had his sister cousin in it?
Might make a good rump roast.
Gif of child just throwing up.
Puke emoji, puke emoji, puke emoji.
From Lamar, a pepper emoji, like a red pepper emoji. Actually, it was supposed to be a red pepper emoji. It turned out to be an eggplant.
Oh, God!
Damn.
I think
I know what piece Lamar wants.
at that point, I think Nicholas would just be like, I would claim his genitals, but I imagine he lost his testicles years ago.
Lamar beat you to it.
Wait, what?
Eggplant.
Genevieve responds.
That's not what that was supposed to be.
Genevieve responds with eggplant and the water drops.
A lesson in emoji is going on now in this chat. Nicholas, after you get done with your text, your sister actually speaks to you. Did you see him?
I didn't. I only heard him. Did you recognize him?
No, but he wasn't hiding. Very odd for one on our side.
And of course, it was the one time I didn't think to look.
He was in a suit. Hair slicked back. He even bowed to you before he left.
What kind of suit?
Charcoal black with pinstripes.
I imagine one of his cousins. They do love their stereotypes.
He stood the whole time with his hands behind his back. He almost looked like a butler. And then she goes silent.
Does the madam's butler wear a pinstripe suit?
No, he wears a tux. Always in a tuxedo, which is very weird to see walking around Chicago.
Interesting. I'll bring that up the next time Nicholas is with them, because I don't know how much of that he can get into right now. Plus, he's probably still agitated.
So now, Isabella, you wanted to speak with Brayden. Where did you plan to meet with him?
I figured I would go to his house. Or his
You mean the Sinshaw's house?
Yeah, actually.
Okay.
Where he's staying.
Did you let him know you were coming?
No.
Okay. Let me see if he's
before
there.
Hopefully.
Okay. Now I know the answer to that.
Before I actually no, I'll head out for a bit But before I get there, I'll park somewhere and I'll like see if there's anyone else there or like around, and then I'll
Wits awareness.
Wits awareness.
Yeah, we always got to start with a wits awareness if you're checking to see if you're being watched.
Instincts.
Sure, that's a good one. I know. I had to roll something too.
No, I know.
Okay.
It was just intimidating is not the right word. A worrying weight.
Yeah, I had to roll 2 different things on this one.
Oh, I
On
know.
my
It's
end.
a messy crit.
No, you don't see anybody watching you.
Okay. Then she is going to attempt to disguise her face.
So you are going to use a vicissitude.
I am.
You're going to be rolling. Resolve and Protean first. As that is the initial roll. And you'll need a rouse check as well, but you can roll it after you're done. As you call upon your blood, you've been given a lot of thought to the shape shifting and realize that if you can shift shape into a wolf or into claws, then the flesh is malleable.
I am getting very good rolls for now, and it's going to fail later miserably.
Yeah, probably will. You got 5 successes and you passed your rouse check. So that actually gets you enough you could make 5 different changes to you. But now if you're going to change your face, it is going to be dexterity plus craft. The difficulty will be 3. And you have 2 so far. 3, just enough.
That was close.
And you shape your face into, well, you can describe how you think you've changed yourself.
I imagine, just for the hell of it, she's gonna like try and change her face to look like, to kind of like be reminiscent of like a celebrity, but not like exactly, because that's obviously more difficult, but be like more reminiscent of like, we'll do like Angelina Jolie with like very like big full lips compared to what Isabella has normally.
So you give yourself a good amount of collagen injection in the lips, slim the face a little bit
Yep.
longer, those kind of things. Okay. That's not hard for you to do. And it takes you, well, a few minutes, but you manage to move the flesh and shift the bone slightly, which is odd, but you managed to do it. The flesh is malleable, apparently, very malleable to you.
Now it is. Gives like a silent thank you to Jenny. And she like did that kind of close to where Brayden's place is. And so she'll kind of walk the rest of the way.
Okay. And as you walk up to this townhouse, you see that the lights are on inside.
She'll give a knock.
And it's about a minute or 2 before the door opens, and Brayden's standing there, wearing a suit as always, hair grayed at the temples. I don't know who you are, but this is the wrong place.
No, it's not, Brayden.
You roll to see here.
I figured this appearance might be better suited and less triggering for you.
Okay, I know the voice. That face don't match the voice.
That's the point. May I come in?
Sure. Come on in. And he invites you in. And as he goes to invite you in, you see him look out the door and kind of look up and down the street a little bit before he closes the door behind you.
Are you looking for someone?
Yeah. I'm always looking for someone. She's coming to get me, and I know this. The nightmares have been every day.
Were they not always every day?
No, not every day.
What exactly are you dreaming about now?
She's going to kill me.
That's it?
Right in this place here.
Yet you stay here.
Where else will I go? I don't think the place matters in the dream. Could be anywhere. It just so happens this is where I am.
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Amelia has been seen in town.
You're joking, right? Let me pull
Fortunately
something up.
not. I will say she didn't indicate she was after you so much. She seems to have other targets on her plate.
Are you positive she's in town?
She visited me. But I took extra steps before coming here.
Well, guess one way or another, we're going to get to the end of this, won't we?
You don't have to stay here by yourself. She does know where my bar is. But we've recently made some enhancements that are suited for keeping out shadows.
Think it matters.
And you can think that way.
Are you offering me sanctuary?
Yes.
I accept. I will be by later tonight.
Yep. You know where well, you've been there,
Oh, yes.
actually. So never mind. You know where it is.
Yes, I'll be by later. I have to let Alan know I will no longer be using his place.
And I will be sure to let Amelia know to expect you. We don't want him getting
I got the impression
of
he don't
himself.
like me.
He doesn't like anyone but me.
Oh, that's fair.
Why we work so great together.
That's probably fair. Well, I've got to get packing. This is... Sorry, I'm not very talkative now because of what you just... Yes.
Be careful.
I've survived this long.
Yes, but if she's here, you're afraid for a reason.
Oh, yes.
Good luck. I guess I will see you later.
Later tonight. I'll be there. And you see him turn and he starts heading up the stairs to go to the next floor of the townhouse. So what do you do at this point?
Is there anything suspicious about that happening?
No, he's pulling out a
Okay.
cell phone as he goes up the stairs. He said he's got a pack.
Pulling out a cell phone.
He said he had to call Alan, didn't he?
He'll leave. I won't think too much into it.
And as you step out into the night, 7 was a pretty good roll. You don't see anything suspicious outside the place as you head back to your car. And you get in your
And then-
car. And right as you get in your car, you get a text message. Matter of fact, all of you get a text message. Got a new act, need you to see over at Starchild Studios tonight, now.
This came from Damien's numbers?
It came from a number. He don't
Really?
tell you when he changes his phone, so
But
if
he didn't even
switches-
put like his initial or anything
Nope.
on it?
But he mentioned the Starchild Studio.
Jesus Christ. Fucking brouhaha. Okay.
Nicholas will send a group chat to everyone just asking, meet here or meet there or before.
My place is closest.
Be there
Oh.
shortly.
I just play underway.
OMW.
I assume you're gonna, if you want to heal the aggravated or heal to undo what you've done to yourself, you get 1 aggravated wound.
Yep.
Now, healing that is, it's actually, no, it's like that until you heal it. You need to take 3 rouse checks to
Okay.
heal it, to go back to what you were. So hit the rouse button 3 times. That's 1 success. 2 successes. 3 successes. You are doing well tonight, aren't you? As you call upon
Totally
your
jinxed
blood,
it.
it's painful. It hurts as you reshape the bones again, force them back the way they were, you force your skin back the way it was. But with a bit of effort and a bit of pain, you are back to Isabella.
And she'll begin driving back to Jenny's place now. Or not Jenny's place, Jackie's place.
And it takes you all a bit, but you gather at Jackie's. I'll turn it over to you all. Are you going to take 1 vehicle?
Yes, we'll take 1 vehicle.
So I'll actually turn it over to you all in the vehicle ride over.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Because
turn
it's
it
not
over.
like Jackie doesn't have a variety of vehicles.
Yeah, I turn it over to the players. This would be probably the Escalade or something of that
Mm-hmm.
that nature. I
Mhm.
turn it over to the players.
Oh,
Soon. sorry.
please go ahead, Lemma, please.
I was just gonna say, this sounded kind of urgent without sounding urgent.
Yeah.
You think we should
Well,
be
we're
worried?
obviously not in trouble because he comes and collects us when we're in trouble.
That's true.
Damn, that's true.
So we shall see. Nicholas, I got word from my police contact. There was a fire in Lincoln Park, actually the Lincoln Park luxury condos. Within that time frame. 3rd floor condo caught fire and burned, both adjoining units to it. Fire marshal claims it was arson, but no one was home in any of the condos, as far as they are aware. The owner of the condo was listed as a shell company that does Airbnb rentals. And so far, they have not been able to find any actual contact information for that company.
I imagine it is one of his resources or assets. Strange though, Izzy told me the gentleman who delivered the message was wearing a pinstripe suit, which seems a bit on the nose for him, but then again, slick back hair, very
Very Italian.
well. So you'll see him get, like, when you say Italian, he's It's like he's spitting the word out and he says, it's very Giovanni.
Hmm. Interesting.
But thankfully, nothing tried to kill me yet today, so day's looking up, I suppose.
Now the night is still young.
That's true.
It was a joke, Nicholas. You do seem to be on many lists, though. We need to resolve some of this.
Slow down. Leave some enemies for the rest of us.
What can I say? I'm a popular individual.
Obviously.
Any happy news from anyone else?
Happy is debatable. I visited Brayden to let him know of Amelia's visit.
How do you take it?
He wasn't the happiest. Better than I thought, though. He didn't ask for us to kill him or anything again, which is progress, I'd say.
Pity.
You're one to talk with how many targets you have on your back.
We could be rid of one of them if we just used them.
We still can. She knows where I am. I gave him sanctuary at the bar. 2 targets in one place. Pretty hard to pass up.
Isabella, you went there yourself.
I did. I did disguise myself using some
Yes,
newfound tricks.
but if you are being tailed,
I searched to see if there was anyone else following me. He must have been hiding pretty damn well if I didn't see him.
might I make a suggestion for future espionage endeavors?
Don't go myself. This wasn't a spy endeavor.
Oh, no,
I
it kind
wasn't-
of is because you're being. I imagine she is surveilling you.
I imagine she's gotten good at hiding if...
And that too. But in the future, if you must use the gifts that you have, otherwise use money, to pay someone, just some random person, to go deliver a message.
Given his inability to trust others,
Well, it doesn't have to be someone that goes in his house. It can be literally a verbal message and leave.
I don't trust that he wouldn't do something rash if he was afraid that they would do something to him. He's irrational at times. But I understand the message.
It's just a safety measure. It's one I employ often, actually.
I understand. It doesn't change what happened.
I know.
Roscoe. Please roll. Intelligence all specs, please. As you're driving, you all see Roscoe kind of, his eyes glaze over. Not in the way that he hears things in his head, but his eyes just glaze over. You've only seen him do it once other time, and I believe that was in an elevator. Or no, in a helicopter that night going to Capone. 6 so far. Not bad. Not bad.
I figure, like, while this is resolving, Nicholas would look over at Roscoe and just, I can stop talking.
And you all can continue. I will get back to you, Roscoe, because this takes time to do.
Okay.
Isabella, understand what I say is not to try to criticize. It is only out of worry.
Well, I know.
Okay.
Like I said, I will take it into consideration in the future. I did think about it when I made this decision.
I understand. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just making suggestions out of worry because I want to try to ensure that all of us are as safe as we can be.
Of course.
I would also like to point out that she has made it abundantly clear what her plan is, so now is probably a more dangerous time than going by herself was.
I can see that, but that's not to say Kindred don't lie.
That is fair.
We
I
do
was
not
found
know if
lying.
this. I mean, she is Sabot La Sombra. They are the kings and queens of opportunism.
I will not hide away, though. I will make that clear. I know that we aren't saying that that's what I do,
No.
but that could easily veer in that direction if
Oh, I understand.
this mentality
but
continues.
In the case of, like, for me, I often will do something else as a distraction. I'm somewhere else while someone goes and delivers a message. So that way I'm not hiding.
I understand that. But as far as Nicholas's point,
Yeah, that's true.
she will be after me no matter where I am. I'm not going to hide in a corner and be miserable. I value my life, but it's only valuable if you use it.
That's true.
I very much want to kill this woman.
We'll get our chance.
I would really
Yeah.
like to be able to see her.
Seeing isn't always believing. Getting rid of her is, yeah.
No, I mean, I have no way to see her if she goes into shadow. How can I attack that which I can't see?
I mean, we're probably going to have to build the battlefield anyway, and so we're not going to take her on her own turf. She's going to have to come to us because we have the bait. No offense, Isabella, and of course Brayden, if he is bait. We have people that she wants to get. We build the theater of her death. So fill it full of lights, and when she thinks she's being sneaky, we just, I don't know. While
They
Genevieve
do-
is saying all this, though, she's also typing in her phone, and she kind of leans over and holds it over to Lamar. This is what the eggplant is, and it's a lewd video of some dude.
I do enjoy this sound of theater of death, though.
Yeah, sometimes you have to put some flourish on it. Theatrics. Sorry if I'm
Interesting.
pithy about killing somebody, but I may not be acting all gung-ho to murderize somebody, but like it's been said, a threat to one of us is a threat to all of us, and I do care about all of you in my own way. So, yeah.
And yet you just showed me that.
That was my way of showing I love you, Lamar.
Education's a valuable experience, Lamar.
I am really, really not all sharing is caring. I'm just going to put that out there.
You should be thankful not all
Jackie
of us have
peeks
had
over
opportunity
at the
to be
video.
educated like
What,
you.
are you a prude, Lamar?
No, but I could have done without that for the rest of my existence.
Nicholas,
Now
Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was Lamar was talking, so that's what I'm saying.
I could have done without that for the rest of my existence.
And you all see Roscoe's eyes unglaze. Roscoe, you've been sweeping further and further around the vehicles it moves because you can't exactly go and check. You can't reach all the way to where Brayden's staying or anything like that. And as you're sweeping further and further, you get a pretty good roll, 7 successes. You don't
Nope,
see
not-
any
Was
odd
that 9?
shadows.
Was that a 9? I mean, it was 7 plus the 2
Oh, yeah.
crits.
Yeah, it's a crit. So it made it 9. You don't see any shadows following the vehicle. You swept and looked at cars and didn't see anybody driving them that might be following you. By pushing your vision out of your body, you've swept both in front and behind the vehicle and see nothing that seems out of the ordinary or suspicious at all. which might make you a little suspicious, just that you didn't see anything suspicious.
Right. Doesn't seem like there's anybody following us or tailing us or in front of us. Just thought I'd have a quick look around.
As soon as he says that, sorry,
Go ahead.
Nicholas will throw on Oblivion Sight just because knowing that she has access to the other half of Oblivion as well, it's not beyond possibility that maybe she could have a ghost following him.
As you're moving through and you turn on Oblivion Sight, everything goes daylight. Almost. It's clear enough to see. And you see a few spirits walking the street. You actually drive past a building that is burnt half down, and there seems to be a number of spirits in there around something, because you can only see the spirits, not necessarily what they're engaging with, but it almost looked like a small market to you of some kind, which is very odd to see. But you don't see anything in the shadows that appear to be non-dead things.
Yeah.
Nicholas will make a note of the location of the market for info later.
I mean, it was good feeling that we didn't see anything, tailing us or anywhere around us, but it seemed suspiciously empty for some reason.
That's that constant fear thing I was talking about, because it could actually be nothing. There might be something, but there could be something. Could be nothing.
Yeah, but we don't know it's not nothing.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
We want to live our lives in that fear? I don't.
I just wanted to be sure, just in case there were some shadows following us, but they're not. So.
Of course. Be sure.
Being aware is good, but as Isabella has said, we cannot live our lives in constant fear. If we're going to live our lives in constant fear, we have to be scared of the sun. Okay, we should be scared of the sun, but not so much that, it keeps us from doing our things. So
and fire.
And fire. Yeah. So we'll be aware of the things we need to be aware of. We'll keep our eyes open, and because once it's all said and done, she's going to be dead. We'll all be here. We're going to have a fucking laugh about it, and then we'll go kill somebody else.
No, just better to be forewarned if we can. So
I'm going to let you guys do the worrying then. So,
Ma'am, we're almost there.
Excellent.
Isabella's just like beaming that Jenny agreed with her.
That's kind of obvious. I'm sure everyone in the car noticed that.
I swear.
What?
Yes.
Isabella, do you have a thing for her?
No, it's nice to be agreed with, though, and have someone understand my viewpoint and this car of worry warts right now.
Well, we all understand, but
but she agreed. You understand, but she agreed.
Okay.
It's good to be, appreciated, and so it's good to be loved, or something.
Let me be clear. I'm not scared. I know, regardless of our extra life, we all end up dead regardless. It's just when.
God damn, man, did you have to take the mood and throw it down to hell like that? Because I was in a good place, imagining all the people that were about to die at our hands. And now just the whole mood has gone all the way down. Nicholas, I need to talk about something happy.
Lamar, don't worry. They're all going to die by our hands.
Yeah.
I was going to say...
And then we can celebrate after.
More skulls for your collection.
Just like that, I'm back up. Let's
See?
go.
And as you pull up in front of the building, there is nobody standing out front this time. But the lights are on inside. You can just barely tell that, even though because they're tinted, you can't see through them. But you can tell that the lights are on, and that's about it.
I guess he's wanting a private conversation with us. We get out of the car.
And when you get out, when you open the door to go to this place, Damien's by himself, setting up against the control panel to the mixing booth. Come on in, come on. Shut the door behind you, lock it, please. We don't want an interruption.
Lamar lets everyone go in. He will bring up the rear. He will lock the door behind them.
I'm here on behalf of the prince. He has told me that you all have offered to help him with things he needs help with.
Indeed.
I got something I want you to look at. And he hands you a newspaper clipping. He hands it to Jackie first. And as Jackie scans through it, the newspaper clipping talks about a fire in Chicago's little village. Just happened about 1 a.m. not long ago. It spread from one house to another house. Supposedly gang activity was involved, though the note in the police or the newspaper actually mentions something about a new gang called the Ashfinders. 6 casualties, 10 people displaced. Homeland Security and DEA have already been contacted about it.
Storyteller.
Yeah.
Can Lamar roll to see if he's heard anything about these Ashfinders?
Yeah, Jackie
You
reads
have.
it over, and she's going to pass it down the line of whoever's next to her so that they can all read it. We've heard of this.
You were told about Ashe before, and the article specifically mentions a blue-colored drug called Ashe, A-S-H-E. You learned that from your the owner of the surplus store had mentioned he was going to get hold of some.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah.
When Nicholas gets the article, this isn't where
No, opposite.
where Zal's.
no, different part of
Okay.
town,
Different part of town.
opposite end. And Damien, as you're looking over, that article was written by Amelia Locke. Now, before you say anything about it, she wrote that on the prince's orders.
Of course. Of course.
Is there any information we have that's not here then?
You have to talk to her. My job is to pass the message. He would like you to look into this.
Mm-hmm.
He would like you to keep it circumspect.
Of course.
As you can see why I'm here alone,
Mm-hmm.
to not call attention to it. And you are to find out any information you can on this Ashe. He'd love to get a sample of it. Find out who's responsible for this and ensure it doesn't happen again. Now, he's already spoken with Amelia, obviously, because he told her to write this.
Mm-hmm.
His suggestion, and you know how Jackson is, he tells you to go see Amelia first.
Of course. Of course. We will do such, and we will keep it as discreet as we can. One thing I did want to advise you of, though, is there's an individual within the city at this time that is under a, I believe, worldwide blood hunt.
Now, blood hunt's a blood hunt, as far as we're concerned here in Chicago, as a shining example of the Camarilla. A blood hunt is a blood hunt.
Sabat La Sombra by the name of Amelia DiCarlo.
Never heard of her? But if you say so.
Yes. She is, Brayden White's sire. Reason to suspect she is here to destroy him and possibly attack my coterie mates, Isabella and Nicholas.
I've heard that Brayden, he's staying with Sinshaw Sovereign, as far as I know, right?
As far as I know, he's in one of the places that he owns.
Yeah. I'll go talk with him about it. See if I can get some more info. But if you say they're there, I'm going to take your word on it. I'll inform the prince tonight.
Excellent.
He will, of course, reach out to verify the blood hunt, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then he will take appropriate steps. But if this is a blood hunt, you know what that means.
Of course.
They're fair game.
Yes.
Take any and all steps possible to eliminate them.
Of course. But thank you for this information. I will arrange for us to speak with Amelia.
And you can keep that newspaper clipping. It's
Excellent.
in the newspaper, so
Mm-hmm.
it's not like we're worried about that. I don't know why he decided to have her publish that. That's a bit of a masquerade breach, in my opinion. But he's Prince. I've specifically been told not to be involved in that one. So it's obvious he wants it really circumspect.
Of course.
Well, have a good evening.
You too. We head out.
Evening.
And you, as you head out, he actually follows out behind you and locks the door behind you. And you see him actually get in a car that's there. Now remember, he looks awful young, but he doesn't have a driver tonight. He just hops in and drives off. And I'll turn it over to you all as you're heading over to, I'm sure you're going to go see at least Amelia to get started on it. I'm sure, who texts Amelia? You know
Jackie
she's
does.
probably expecting it.
Jackie does.
Amelia says, I'm at my office. I'm waiting.
Be there shortly.
And as you're heading over there, I'm going to give you a scene before we go to break as you're heading over to see Amelia. And I turn it back to the players.
I might know someone who can get a sample of that Ashe stuff.
Excellent.
I'll check with him tonight. Kids just keep coming in this town, don't they?
Mhm.
As it's been said before, I always keep my eyes on leaving. There's a reason. Chicago's kind of a fucking mess. But then again, that's usually how these operations work. You know, the place that everyone's like, ooh, the razzle dazzle, it's kind of just to cover up all the bullshit. So I don't know. Hopefully this is not a big deal, but considering the prince wants this handled on the down low, that makes it sound like this is a big deal.
Storyteller, for with the Ashfinder thing, is there any sort of like, does it ring any bells for Nicholas being sort of like in Nicholas's circles?
No. You've all heard, I mean, you run a club. You've all heard rumors about the new drug, Ashe. It seems to be taking the place of PCP in terms of, you know, the
Even
hardcore
heroin?
junkies. Yeah, and heroin and that kind of thing. He even mentions it in the article, but you've not seen it. You all have a strict policy in your club about none of that shit goes on, and you're pretty ruthless about exercising and making sure that doesn't go on. So the only one that actually has it is Lamar had talked about the Ashe before, and I believe Jackie and a few others have heard just bits and pieces,
Just
but
bits
nothing
and pieces.
major.
Yes. Because I think Cedric mentioned it at one point.
Etienne looks back, ma'am, where are we heading?
To Amelia's office.
Yes, ma'am. And he starts heading that way. So, as you all are riding over there, each of you reading this newspaper article probably multiple times to get a feel for it, to really understand what's going on. I think right here, we're actually going to go to break. When we come back from the break, we'll have everyone visiting Amelia, plus, well, the rest of the evening for them. See you all in 10 minutes. Please enjoy the break, everybody.
Allow me to introduce myself, though I fear you've heard my name, and that you've heard the story of Countess Bathory. History is told by the victors, heroic warriors, and mad kings. Will you hear my story from the lips of Bathory? They call me King Demon, Queen of Hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins, the blood countess. Who is she really? Who is she really? Blood countess. Who is she really? Isabella Bathory. I was very wealthy and powerful, a widow with political rivals keen to destroy me and take my property. My plea was never offered, all my confessors were all tortured, or how they destroyed me for my property. They put me up, shut me up, shut me up, put me up, shut me up, and told a story of a bitch called Bathory. Let's King Demon, Queen of Hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins, youthful, the blood countess. Who is she really? Who is she really? Blood countess. Who is she really? Isabella Bathory. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters I've always been the hunter, nothing on my tail. But there was something in you I knew could make that change. To capture a predator who can't remain the prey, you have to become an equal in every way. So look in the mirror and tell me, who do you see? Is it still you, or is it me? Become the beast, we don't have to hide. Do I terrify you, or do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you, or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. So embrace the darkness, and I will help you see that you can be limitless and fearless if you follow me. We are the lions in a world of lies. We are the predators, the hunters, the hunters, the hunters. Become the beast, we don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin to burrow within. Do you burrow within? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? or do you feel alive?
Welcome back. Before the break, hi everybody. Jackie talked with Cedric. Nicholas got, damn Nick, you're getting threatened again. This is like the season of threats, I think. Though the only ones to deliver any threats or deliver on anything has always been your coterie. But hey, somebody might get lucky. Maybe. Isabella went and spoke with Brayden after she showed off a brand new trick. And then Damien asked you all to come speak with him because the prince took you up on that offer of, if he needed anything done. Apparently he's decided you are able to do some things circumspect-like. And now you've been sent to meet with Amelia. And as you pull up in front of her building, same building as before, nothing odd looking outside of it. And when you all head up there and knock on the door, Amelia says, you hear her voice clearly, come on in. As you come in, she's got 6 chairs already set up in the room. Hey, it's good. I was expecting this. I was told to expect you all to be popping in tonight, so I just figured I'd hang at the office.
Jackie goes up to her and actually kisses her on both cheeks and says,
She gets up out of her chair to greet you.
And she says, it's good to see you, Amelia.
It's good to see you. I wish it was under better circumstances.
Indeed. And she goes and sits down.
Please, everybody have a seat.
Nicholas will stand by a chair but doesn't sit.
And she just kind of looks at you.
Don't worry, he never sits.
Yeah, he never sits, but we're working on that. Genevieve just snaps her fingers. Sit. Oh my God, Nicholas. You're embarrassing us in front of good company.
That's his choice. He can stand. How much did Damien tell you? I don't even know how much he knows.
He basically gave us the newspaper article you wrote and told us that the prince ordered you to write it.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with that, his logic on it, but from his point of view, he thinks a number of our kind have been a little too careless given the nature of this particular drug. And
it was a warning that they're flagging the Second Inquisition.
Yeah. Again, I'm not too happy, and we're going to come to that as part of what I see should be happening. How much do you know about Ashe?
Not a whole lot. I've heard rumors about it, and there was, of course, in what you wrote, it described what it does and how it's comparable to other drugs.
I left a lot out. It appeared a handful of years ago, out of nowhere. The rumors on the street here and there. It's a very odd drug. When you take it, it gives you a lot of hallucinations. The problem is repeated use, and you begin to lose what reality is. You can't distinguish between the two. Now, this is what we know of what it does to kind. Kindred also have the same kind of hallucination.
Really?
But the real one is some rumors I've heard. If Thin Bloods take it, their hallucinations are memories of another kindred. Which is odd. I don't know how they do it. I don't know what they
Jackie
get.
has seen a certain Banu Hakim do ashes to get memories.
Yes, you have.
Really?
Now, if that's not terrifying enough, I don't think I'd want anyone here seeing my memories. This is a very recent thing, but we've also been hearing disturbing. It's not even a rumor, it's just disturbing undertones. That sometimes these hallucinations involve them thinking they're hunted by something. The victims of some kind, that's what they say. The word I heard was beast, which should triggers.
That's concerning.
A shadowy thing hunts them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, normally I'd just discount that, but you're hearing way too many things that sound.
Yes, those are kindred ashes in that drug. How many
Oh,
kindred have been destroyed or gone missing recently?
I mean, we have the normal amount. Luke was missing a little while, but we figured that one out.
Yes.
Thea, Noel McCrane went missing. The problem is, how do you know if a kindred goes missing? If they don't tell you they're here, or
It's
if
true.
we have an open border with the city. People come and go all the time. And you know, with a city this size, there's probably more kindred than we even know of. We can't keep track of all of them. Hell, I'm surprised there's not more unauthorized embracing going around this place than what we have. Now, I've done looks into it. I've been kind of spearheading this for Jackson for a while. Sorry I didn't tell you before.
That's all right.
Every attempt I've made through any contact, I've not been able to secure one bit of this drug. They always seem to sniff out if it's one of our people. I suspect it's coming in on train car or something like that.
What if they are making it on site, as it were?
It's possible too. We've just not had a way to really find out for sure. Now, from my point of view, the drug's bad enough. Cause people to burn buildings down. What isn't in my article was another part. There was witnesses to the guy who set fire to the buildings.
What witnesses?
Humans, unfortunately. They watched the guy burn up at the sun. He was dancing around, giddy, and stood there till the sun came up. They watched his flesh burn off.
Who was this individual?
There was 5 or 6 of them.
Really?
We've done what we can.
No, I'm talking about the one that went up in the sun.
Don't know.
Oh,
They gave us a description. Black hair, short black hair. But nothing that we can actually match it to anybody. But he burned up.
so he was drugged.
He was definitely drugged. And it raises a question on my end of, well, most thin bloods don't do that.
No, most don't.
Most don't.
Not to say they can't, but most don't.
I've not heard of one just burning like we do. Sure, they'll burn eventually,
Right.
but not quickly enough to see layers of skin burning off and blowing into the wind.
Right.
So you can see why this is a concern. Now, we know that the DEA is in. We know Homeland Security's gotten involved, and that's where I have a problem with Jackson having me write this particular article. His opinion is, puts a word out to the kindred of the city, but it also doesn't attempt to hide it, because if we tried to suppress that one, they would notice our meddling.
They would. He is actually right in this. I know it treads a line. I know it does, but you did it well. You did it very well.
I want, as part of this, I want to see some kind of evidence pointed towards anybody but our kind. I want to give the DEA and Homeland Security
Patsy.
somebody they can blame that doesn't involve the blank bodies, as they call us. I don't know if you can arrange it. I'd hope so,
Of course.
but that's on you all. Jackson has told me I am to support you and give you any information I have, any kind of thing you need me to run down, but you're taking lead on this one now. I'm a little bit pissed he took it from me because this was my particular baby, but apparently you all have done something to impress him.
Hmm.
Well, Amelia, no offense. You've done a great job so far, and you'll still be involved, I'm sure. It's not like we can do this all alone.
And Amelia,
So-
darling, you are the nosiest bitch in this city. Of course, we're not going to keep you out of this.
Right.
You are valuable to this investigation.
You said it involves ashes of kindred.
Yes, of course it would. If what they are doing, I'm going to tell you, I have witnessed certain individuals with the capability of taking ashes of fallen kindred and recalling memories of their last moments. It is something that can be done by full-fledged kindred. So if they are having memories of kindred, the Thin Bloods, they are using kindred ashes.
And that makes it even more important. This doesn't get out. I don't think the kindred of Chicago would be pleased to find out
Thin Bloods are killing them?
that we are going to be hunted by the Thin Bloods. That would, I mean, Jackson doesn't care what happens to him normally, but I'm pretty sure that would cause a purge, the likes of which we couldn't suppress and we couldn't even stop. Every one of our kind would murder every Thin Blood they could find.
Yep.
Out of hand to make sure they weren't got.
Yes.
So I'm here to answer whatever questions you have.
The individual that met the sun, the building that they were in that was on fire, was there any signs of like a lab or anything there?
No, it was a break-in. As far as we can tell by what's left, people said they heard glass breaking. And the guy that did it, I mean, you'll notice in the article it said he had brown hair, black hair. We switched that to kind of throw people off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But he went in there, left the scene. He had a large bag. I mean, he raided the place. We think he got some of that drug out of there. But the family, we already looked into it. Those were residential buildings. Nobody had heard of any strange things. Nobody had seen, we did the normal, you seen anybody coming and going at odd hours? Anyone not acting right? None of that.
Why did the witness say, now all the children are gone?
Those were some of the... there was children involved in the fires. The house that burned, single dad, kids. The whole neighborhood seemed to like the kids. Chicago bedroom style communities and all that. It's not really a bedroom community. It's not out of town, but most of the people in that neighborhood was retirees. Those were their grandbabies, even though they weren't. So it's heartbreaking in some ways, but it happens.
On our way over here, there was a burned building with spirits lingering in a strange fashion, and he'll give her the address. Are you aware of anything that happened that may be similar?
I mean, that building burned down a few years ago. Random fire. Is it abandoned when it burned? I don't know. Spirits? I'll never understand your kind.
There seems to be a habit of abandoned houses burning.
This is Chicago. Abandoned houses burn all the time. At least now we've learned not to build the whole place out of wood so it goes up like a matchstick when it burns.
This might come as an odd question, but do you know of any have you in your investigation or just in your day-to-day, night to night general business, have you heard of any like thin blood enclaves anywhere, groups of them that always get together in certain places?
And we've all had rumors. I know Zule supposedly has a number working for her. I asked her. She didn't know what I was talking about when it comes to anything Ashe related.
Yeah. Well,
I
based
even
on some
reached
stuff
out to Juliet, Prince over in Juliet, to see if they've seen any of that. Nope.
Then it isn't international or even national or even regional distribution. It is local.
Well, you say that, but I reached out to some of my contacts. We've seen it pop up in Russia already. In Cairo.
It could be local cells.
Cairo was the odd one for me.
What about what happened in Cairo?
That's the Middle East.
Yes.
You haven't heard of this thing everyone our kind like to refer to as the Gehenna Wars?
Oh, of course. I thought you might have some different details related to this.
I don't have much context there. I just heard through a grapevine that Tat's friends with some import-export people that fly planes under radars to drop off goods.
And Chicago is an international hub.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little trick she says she picked up from the CIA. She calls it Air Russia. Now she's making a joke about Air America, I know, but
Russia to Cairo to the U.S.
Among other stops, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Cambodia.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so basically they are, if not utilizing the material from other cities, someone came here to teach them how to do it.
And let's be fair, if as much drug as there's supposedly on the street, if it's coming from Ashe as a kindred, I don't know how much it takes to make the drug. But in the numbers that we're hearing rumors of, we'd notice if that many kindred disappeared. Unless they're getting a lot of drugs off a body. But you got to remember, not all of us turn to Ashe.
True. But, yeah. With the sun we do, though.
Yeah, that's true.
The sun, it doesn't matter how young you are.
If Cairo is a stop in the war is known for creating a lot of death. I mean, that could easily supply low generation ashes.
Rumor has it there's a number of, well, I mean, if you believe that beckoning bullshit, it's ripe for the pickings if you want some old blood. That's what I've been told.
And not to mention, supposedly the Sabbat went out there en masse. And how many have come back?
I know that we don't have the problem we used to in the city of them, so...
Exactly. A lot of cities don't have the problems that they used to have with them. I think they took a big hit to their numbers. Oh, Amelia.
Yeah, this is, as you can see.
Yes, we will definitely get boots to the ground on this.
I mean, I know it can't, I've been working this for 3 months now. I know it can't be done overnight.
No, but we have resources that you don't.
We managed to suppress the witnesses that saw Guy burn up before the DEA and Homeland got hold of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Each one has a different story. That should throw them for a loop.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Your
go ahead.
Go ahead. Your article mentioned that the survivors fleeing sustained some injuries. Anything strange, not expected?
Smoke inhalation. That's a big one. A minor burns. Most of the people got out. A lot of the people there were elderly, so not many of them made it out without burns. The only ones who died were in the main house, the father and his kids. The rest of them, neighboring buildings, a lot of smoke inhalation. One lady had a heart attack.
Was the cause of the fire the burning kindred?
No, he fled the scene. It took us a while to track down, based on descriptions, the witnesses that saw him burn. We're not quite sure. We know that it was a fire that caused, it went up awful quick. Now you see in the article, it says community center. It was, but wasn't. It's his house.
Ah.
Like I said, he had the only kids in the neighborhood. So all the old ladies and the grandpas would come and hang out there, and they'd play chess out front, checkers. But
why on earth?
The drugs being there don't make sense. I've seen nothing that connects this family to anything else. That's where the problem is. We looked into his finances. Gabriella got that info. She don't know why. He wasn't in debt. Didn't have any large sums of money up here. So he wouldn't have been dealing. He had no reason to be dealing. The only thing I can guess is they were just stashing it there. Maybe somebody in the neighborhood. He was holding a bag for him. You know how that is sometimes. Maybe he'd rented a room out. Most people don't rent out rooms when they have that many kids.
Unless they're desperate for money.
Yep.
The one that ran away with the bag of drugs.
That's the one who burned up.
Really? What happened to the drugs?
Weren't there.
Really?
I don't know if he did all of them. It was a good sized bag.
If the bag was full.
That would have been a lot of drugs to do in one setting for sure. Now, again, I don't know the dosage amounts. I don't know how much it takes. I don't know. We haven't been able to get hold of it. And there's the problem.
Who the hell picked up the bag?
Your guess is as good as mine on that one.
Because if the bag wasn't there, somebody picked it up.
You're right.
How long was that space empty for, I guess, until
it took me an
we
hour or
realized
two,
it was gone.
hour and a half roughly, to figure out where the guy ran to and then to find the witnesses. That's the next day, by the way. He burned up in the sun.
Yeah.
I couldn't find him that night. So you're looking at full day?
Yeah.
Anybody could have grabbed the bag.
Anybody.
None of the witnesses saw.
Mm-mm.
After he burned up, all that was left was some clothes in the street. The people who saw it didn't believe what they saw. They thought they'd lost their minds, mass hysteria shit.
Yeah.
Because,
Because of trauma from the fire.
Right. Most people wouldn't believe that shit.
Damn it.
And when there's no body left behind, they just look at it and go, what the hell?
Yeah. Human minds all rationalize a lot of fucking things.
Don't they?
But Yeah, we're going to definitely pull on our resources and contacts and see what we can find out.
Yeah, mine, I've done what I can reach out to.
Mm-hmm. Just, of course, as you always do, keep your ears to the ground, and if you hear anything beneficial to us, let us know.
Yeah. Oh, I will. I've been told that I'm your resource for this. That's fine. It guess in some ways it gets it off my back. Because this is some weird shit here. We even asked Lightwood, Tat's boy,
Mm-hmm.
and he had nothing but rumors. That's how we knew about the hallucination part.
Interesting. Yeah, because I didn't hear that about it. Until the article, of course.
Right. He's the one who told us about the supposedly being stalked by, they called it, the victims. But what victims? It was a drug. Made no sense. But when the word beast was brought up, that makes me wonder. That's a little too close to our terminology.
Yes, they are. Their minds can't wrap themselves around memories of kindred. But they can feel something, I bet.
It's something.
When the witnesses were dealt with, was there any evidence that they had been tampered?
Nope. They would have had to have been tampered with in that hour and a half it took me to locate them.
Which is not
nobody else could have done it
impossible.
in the day. Oh, you're right. It's not impossible.
Oh, some people could have done it in the day.
The Thin Bloods don't have that.
How do you know?
Okay. Touche. I'm not an expert on Thin Bloods. The resident expert on Thin Bloods around here, as far as rumor has it, is Azule.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna run that down. So
Yes. Jenny, Isabella, I think we need a girls' night.
oh yeah. I mean, we'll see. I was gonna say I might have to handle her myself. She may be a little bit more forthcoming with me due to historical stuff. So
Well, there's no reason you can't speak with her privately while we're there enjoying ourselves.
of course.
Jackie just wants her hands on another drink.
Oh, so do you, darling.
I didn't disagree.
But no, we will look into this, Amelia.
Thank you. And I know you all know how to be circumspect. So it's just disturbing all the way around. It's comes out of nowhere. What you've told me tonight from your hypotheses are not pleasing.
Exactly. Yes, we need to find out exactly, we need to confirm what this substance is and figure out where the hell it's coming from. Eliminate it at its source.
That would be the hope.
And give some kind of scapegoat to the Second Inquisition.
That's the most important. In my book, whoever's doing it's covered themselves pretty good, but we need to give a scapegoat. That's not us. And I'd prefer it not point to any of our kind, but if it's got to point to someone of our kind, not here.
I got you.
Let them figure out what came out of Cairo for all I care.
Yes.
Let the elders deal with it.
Excellent. Do any of you have any other questions? Okay. Thank you for your time tonight, Amelia.
No problem. It's, like I said, it's Jackson. I've been working on this for Jackson kind of low key, but this kind of upped the...
I appreciate the work you have done. sincerely,
Yeah,
because you have gathered you gathered pieces that that we needed to start digging deeper.
You've got to be careful, though, because every time I've tried to get my people to look for it, they seem to always know.
Interesting.
And that's not easy to find out, is to figure out that it's always know when it's not somebody wanting to buy the drug to use it. That seems, I mean, statistically speaking, you get lucky someday.
Yeah. All right, well, we will go ahead and excuse ourselves for the rest of the evening so we can get to work on this.
Well, you know where to find me if you need me.
Of course.
And you all head back down to the vehicle. And Etienne's out front waiting, and as you pile in, I turn it over for you for a scene here.
This whole thing sounds like a fucking mess.
Yep. I was gonna say we might need to start sooner rather than later on creating a patsy. Be that organizing a group. Maybe we can pay for their legal fund or some shit when they get busted, but set them up to take the fall. That way, it's not putting anybody related to our kind in any capacity. You know what I'm saying? Just an idea. Just an idea. Anyway, I've got people I'm going to talk to tonight, get the ball rolling. So
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can get us a sample of this stuff, because I might know some people who can get their hands on it, but if I do, I'll bring it back and we figure out what to do from there.
You know, I mean, there's just something that's tugging at the back of my head. I kind of sort of remember seeing some texts. You'd probably want to read them, Nicholas. Necromantic texts that they mentioned, like pulling memories from body parts. I mean, most of it seemed like crap, to be honest, but I mean, there's always a grain of truth in some of these things. Now, if I remember right, though, I mean, the ritual, it came with a curse, though, that afterwards it involved, there was some sort of vengeful spirit that came back to kill the one who did it. Can't remember exactly where I saw that, but it just came to mind.
If you find this text, please let me know. I would definitely be interested in reading it.
Okay.
I can reach out to my circles and see if it's something people are familiar with.
Okay.
Nicholas, are you able to run tests on the substance? I don't know
What do you
what
mean?
sort of equipment you have available at your disposal.
I suppose I'm not entirely sure what you mean by running tests.
To ascertain exactly what is in the drug. I want to avoid using kine for that aspect of it, because if there is supernatural substances in it, we don't want them having record of that.
I mean, I would be willing to take a look, but I cannot promise anything.
Okay. If not,
It
I
is
may
a
have to
bit-
find someone else that can actually test the chemistry of it.
It is a bit out of my expertise, but
Okay. I didn't know if maybe even perhaps you knew someone that could be trusted.
I can let me look into my circles and see if something can be done.
Okay. I'm going to make calls to my police contact to find out what he knows about it going around the city, where there seems to be concentrations of it. And I'm going to also reach out to my associate that runs my escort service to find out if my workers have been seeing any of this anywhere.
We know how Amelia is. You might have heard something. I'll see if there's anything comes up. I'm not optimistic, but maybe.
It's a good idea.
How soon do we want to meet back up after if we get anything?
As soon as possible. But we also need to be brainstorming on who's going to be the scapegoat. So, because that, as I agree with Jenny, that is a priority. We need to get them off of our trail, period.
This may come as little to no shock, but should it come to it, if our scapegoat ends up being more of a body than a person, I may be of more use in that regard.
Oh, that might be handy. We will keep that in mind. Well, seems we are back at my place now.
Well,
Do you all need to come up for anything, or would you like to go your own ways now and deal with your leads?
I should get to work. The quicker the better. If I'm going to nail this down.
I appreciate the urgency, truly.
Big mood.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the shop and see if I can find that text that I remember seeing that in.
That might be very helpful, might help us understand a bit more.
Roscoe, would you mind if I stopped by to assist you in looking?
Oh, absolutely, that'd be great. I'd love the company.
All right, well, you all have a good night, and I wish you luck in your information gathering.
Okay, so as everybody goes their own way, let's go around the table and do, let's go get the first contact that each person wants to do, so that we can see. We'll start with Jackie. Jackie, as everybody leaves, what's the first thing you're going to do?
The first thing she is going to do is she is going to call... Hang on, I'm pulling up my contacts. Sheila LaRue.
Okay.
She is her basically her manager at the escort service.
Okay. And of course, when you call Sheila, it doesn't matter what time of night it is.
Sheila, darling.
Hey, how you doing, Jacqueline?
Did I wake you?
I was about to go to bed. It's a busy night. I was checking on some of our girls. There was a gathering downtown, so I was there.
Oh,
just to check to make sure everything was okay. You know how that is.
Yes. I had something come to my attention that I wanted to run by you to see if any of the staff have mentioned anything like it, and if not, for you to keep your ears open for it and let me know. There's seems to be a designer drug out and about.
Okay.
They call it Ashe, and it is blue, and it tends to be potent like heroin and PCP and gives hallucinations.
Oh God, I've heard that name's familiar. I think Dakota. Yeah, that's exactly, yeah. Dakota had a problem with one of the customers and we blacklisted him because he was apparently on, Ashe sounds close to the name of it. I don't think that was the exact name, but it sounds close enough that
Send me his information.
I'll give you what files we have. But yeah, we put him on the blacklist after that because it creeped Dakota out. And you know how the rules is. If the girls don't feel safe, we pull them off.
Exactly.
They don't get to come back.
Yeah. And, all of them, not just the girls.
So yeah, I have to get it for you in the morning.
No problem. Just send it to the corporate email and I will review it tomorrow.
I will. I'll pull up the paperwork because I know, as always, when we blacklist someone like that, we have the
Oh, well, we do
girls do the
we do thorough background screens on all of our clients.
right, and we have the girls do a debrief where they so we get it on file so we can exactly show why somebody was blacklisted.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
I just got to pull the file. It's in there somewhere.
I appreciate that, Sheila. I really do.
That's no problem. That, like I said, I can get it in the morning.
And I saw the financial report. Profits are up. Very good. Very good.
It's a busy time of year, summer.
Yeah.
There's a lot of galas and business corporate events, and everybody's
Yes.
wanting somebody on their arm.
Yes, it's very good. I'm glad that our marketing campaign really took off and things are going well. It looks like everyone will be getting bonuses for the quarter. So
Well, that's not why I do it. You know
I
that,
know.
but
I know.
the bonuses are nice.
Yes, yes. Excellent, excellent. So yes, but just keep me informed. Send me over files if ever anyone else deals with the situation, because it is very concerning to me, and I have some sway within, the city that I can make the appropriate people aware of individuals involved that might lead them to finding out where this is coming from.
Okay. Yeah, I'll make a note, and I'll flag it so that if anyone hears anything about it.
Excellent. Thank you, Sheila.
That's no problem. Anything else you need?
Nope, that is all. But thank you. You are doing an amazing job.
I don't know how you sound so active this late at night, but you always do. So just
Lots of coffee, darling. Lots of coffee.
finish whatever you're up to tonight. Like I said, I was just getting done, so I was getting ready to get me a bottle of wine
And settled in for
and
the
settle in and read a book and go to
You
sleep.
have a wonderful evening and sweet dreams.
Well, you too.
Mhm.
And then she hangs up.
Yes.
And now we're going to pop over to Isabella.
Okay. So Isabella would actually probably talk to Emilio in person at the bar.
Okay. And when you get to the bar, it's a busy enough night that there's a number of people there, but Emilio is doing his thing. He's wandering the place. He's, because you were called away, he's doing his thing. And when you get there, he immediately comes over. It's a good night so far. Money's doing well. I only had to deal with one or two people up to no good.
Oh yeah? What were they doing?
Pickpockets. It's always the pickpockets in this kind of place. After we broke the hand of the guy who tried to slip a roofie in somebody's drink, I think the rumors got around that you don't try that here unless you want fingers broken. And we haven't had a repeat of that, so that's good.
I mean, that makes me very happy to hear.
Sometimes a little brute force goes a long way, don't it?
Especially with guys like that. I'm assuming they were guys. Were they guys?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
College bros.
Figured. Especially with guys like that. Only thing that works is brute force. But speaking of drugs, actually, I've heard there's a new one that we should be on the lookout for.
Okay. What you
Potentially
got?
problematic.
What's it called?
Ashe?
Yeah, the ones who run it, they're a gang called the Ashfinders. They've got some beef with the Bloods. They've got some beef with some of the South Side guys. They seem to have beefs with just about everybody. My understanding is that if your gang's dealing drugs, they've got a beef with you.
Very territorial, it seems.
Yeah. Because they're pushing their drugs over your drugs, kind of a thing. They don't seem to have a set part of town. The drug itself, I don't know, haven't heard that much about other than just, you know, it's a big club thing.
Yeah.
Take
I
it
can
like
imagine.
X and, you know, the ravers like to use it. But my guess is the ones who would know the most about it is some of the gangs.
That definitely makes sense, especially if they've made enemies.
Yeah, at least the ones who they're fighting against. I mean, the Bloods aren't going to talk to us. I can tell you that now. From what you've told me, that's the Prince's boys. But I'm sure you find some of the unaffiliated ones. They might be willing to talk for some money.
Mhm.
But I can reach out to people I know, see what I can find out.
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
Don't be afraid to throw a little money their way too. I mean, you have the entire group working
with
on
as
this,
much
so.
as they're getting into trouble with people, it just tells me that it's a big operation. Somebody's got to know something out there.
Oh, for sure. And they're very good at hiding themselves, which means they have access to some type of knowledge.
That normally means they've got either law enforcement, ex-law enforcement, or, well, you could even go with they may have organized crime connections. That'd be the other one.
Wouldn't surprise me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the only other way I could say with that kind of thing is, I mean, supernatural means your kind has all kinds of weird ways of hiding shit they don't want to be found. But
Yeah,
I'll reach out to people. I've got a couple
I
owe me some
appreciate it.
favors.
I'm surprised it's only a couple.
Well, I mean, we haven't been here in this part of the city. I got more over in Milwaukee. If you want me to reach out to some of my Milwaukee people, maybe they know something.
I think it's pretty localized right now,
Okay.
thankfully. It's not
I said,
something
I'm still building up the
rampant.
Chicagos that owe me favors. You know, it takes a while to get that reputation as the guy you go to if you need something, you know, you need something special or you need something removed.
We're just gonna pretend I didn't hear all the details of that plausible deniability or whatever it is.
Yeah, I understand. You've never been one that wanted to know all my business. As long as I keep it out of our place and I keep our place clean, you're generally pretty good about that.
I mean, you've been around long enough to know what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, you handle your part, I handle mine, and we makes us a good pairing here.
Exactly. Speaking of what needs to be done here.
There's a package in your office that just came addressed to you. Not maybe 30 minutes ago.
Oh, any idea where from?
Nope. Courier dropped it off. I mean, I shook it.
guess-
It's not ticking,
That's a plus.
but I don't open your mail like that. You know that.
Yeah.
Especially anything coming from courier, because couriers are normally your kind.
Yeah. Wasn't expecting anything, so we'll see what it is.
Yeah, it's on your desk in the office.
She'll go back to her office then.
Okay, and we're going to pause your scene right there. We're popping over to Jenny. Jenny.
Jenny had headed back to Phoenix, but on her way, she sent a text to Frank and Tasha that she wanted to meet both of them there, so that
Okay.
way they'll be there when she gets there. So she'll head to her office and she'll tell them to just, you know, as she goes in, she'll sweep through the place, basically just be like, "Come follow me."
Okay, and when you get there, they follow you back there. They beat you there. They're not far from your business anyway.
Of course. She's gonna go into the office. She's gonna have him sit down. She's gonna sit down behind the desk, So first things first, for you, Frank, I would like random drug testing. All of our employees.
I know we do them when we hire. That's part of the new hire thing, but you want me to start doing some samples?
Just do a few here and there for the
Got it.
next month or so. Basically, also, if you hear any of the if anybody here that you trust that'll like pass information to you, if anybody here is doing anything called Ashe, it's apparently a blue drug, hallucinogenic. I would like to know.
Ashe?
Yeah.
Odd name for a drug, but sure, I'll put that as part of the.
It's not something maybe that's going to show up on drug tests, but we're trying to figure that out right now. Though apparently it might be a combination of other drugs, because like I said, it has a hallucinogenic factor to it. So yes, and I know we've had issues in the past with line cooks doing drugs. So I thought maybe I'll get lucky and catch one here. So
How big of a footprint you want on this? I mean, you want me to do a 25%?
there's any you suspect that are more likely to be doing something, test them for sure. 25 sounds good for now.
Okay, I'll do that.
Thank you, Frank. Tasha, thank you for meeting us here.
Yes, Jenny.
So
and Frank actually gets up and leaves the room to go about his business because he's used to not, staying around when you talk to Tasha.
He's so good. So Tasha, I know you're more in touch with like the community and stuff because of your aunt and just because you live here. Have you heard anything about Ashe or any kind of like new drug going around?
Ashe is some nasty shit.
Yeah.
Nasty shit. Drives people pretty damn crazy, pretty damn quick.
Like repeated uses? Is that what you're hearing?
Yeah.
Or just one?
Yeah. Well, you never hear about somebody just doing it once. That's the problem.
Okay.
Is by the time anyone's talking about it, every time I've heard it mentioned, it's been, well, did you hear about so-and-so? They thought they thought there was a bridge where there wasn't. They just walked off a building, walked into traffic.
Right.
They were seeing shit. One of them thought they were being followed, and then we found him torn, or we didn't, but they found him torn apart in an alley one night, just torn to shreds.
The fuck? How does doing a drug tear you apart?
Random crime. Dude was into some fucked up shit. So since he was, into fucked up shit, we figured he didn't pay his dealer.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes they leave a message like that.
All right.
The big one is none of our local gangs touch it around here. And that should tell you how bad that shit is, because most of these people around here, they'd sell their mother if it'd give them another 50 bones. That's shit how it is. Hell, some of them I think do trick out their mother.
Oof.
That's what it is.
Oh, yeah. Well, two things. First thing, good to know that none of the local groups are pushing this stuff. If you hear a rumor that anybody is pushing it, I would like to know. Second thing, I need to start getting some sort of outreach going with the gangs around here. I'm willing to pay, but I kind of want to bring them into the fold a little bit, as it were. So
I can help with that. My stepbrother might have a less than approved lifestyle choice for grandma.
Well, we don't all live the life that, would make somebody in our family proud, but we do the best we can.
I mean, he's small time, but small time's relative.
Oh yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. Like I said, I'm looking to make some inroads if I can. So, because I pay well. I'm a good employer. I mean, I would think most of my employees are happy to work for me, even though they are scared shitless of me most of the time. It's all good.
So you're
It's all
looking for
Hmm?
you want paying some protection money or some preemptive protection.
A little bit. It's to hedge my bets and protect my ass. So
I'll let him know, and I'm sure he knows who to contact. He knows some people. I know he knows some people that he always knows people who want money.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying I want you to go out and like do it, but if you know of anybody who's in any of the other local groups and you feel safe talking to them, let them know that you know someone who is willing to pay and would like to improve the neighborhood. So
My stepbrother, no, he boosts cars. And, you know, when you start stealing cars from other gangs' turf, they get a cut. So he's kind of got, you know, connections with most of them. Boost the car, take it to chop shop. He gets paid for the car. Then he comes back and he pays a percentage, of course, to whoever's turf he took the car out of. And that way they don't kill him when they see him in their turf. It's free money for them and they get no risk from it because if he gets picked up, he's the one going for grand theft, not them. They just get the money.
True. Well, hopefully we can give your stepbrother more monetarily beneficial job with less threat. So
I doubt he'll give up boosting the cars, but he at least can get you in contact with people. He loves boosting the cars. For him, it's part of the fun.
I gotcha. Well, I appreciate the information. Thank you for all you're doing and helping out. So I do appreciate it.
Nope. I mean, that's why you picked me, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, to protect you, yes, but you are extremely excellent at, I don't know, everything that is you is great, which is why I'm sorry I was kind of testing you, and then that kind of landed you where you are now. So I do apologize about that. But
you've been honest the whole time. If I wasn't as good as this, you wouldn't have made the effort. I mean, that's just a fact. That's how it is. I understand.
You know it. No offense, Tasha. Yeah, if you sucked, I would have just been like, oh, that's a shame. Yeah, it wouldn't have been my problem anymore.
You know, as they say, you know, you got to be good at something out here, right?
Indeed. It's good to be good at something. So I've got some new projects coming down the pipe that I'm hoping to see how you handle. But right now, this is what I want you working on. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll reach out to my stepbrother.
Perfect. And if you need to get some cash to kind of like make him see the light, talk to Frank.
No, it's summertime. He'll be at the barbecue this weekend, and when he comes to the barbecue, I'll hit him up.
Okay. Well, if you need to take some like fancy meat to really show off that you're a new position or something, to make sure your aunt is aware that you're doing good for yourself, just braid the fridge in the back. So
we don't go that fancy. Come on now.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know. You know what? Whatever makes you happy, Tasha. Okay.
I just use the money you buy me to bring a keg or two.
Oh, if you're going to buy kegs, you should get one from my friend. Genevieve like writes down the address for Isabella's pub thing. Throw some cash her way. She's good. So
that's fine. It's just, you know, lots of liquor. That's all that matters.
Whatever floats the boat, Tasha. I'm just trying to be nice. I mean, I could be really mean and just be like constantly work, but that's no fun.
Yeah, I mean, we put in our share, that's for sure, but got to have, what's the point if you don't use it once in a while and enjoy yourself? That's the way I'm looking at it.
Exactly. Frank could learn from you. He's a little too tight.
Yeah, every time you have me go and talk with him, I mean, he teaches me some good things about money and about, you know, investing and finance, but his idea of fun is I'm going to go look over the balance sheets and see if I can squeeze an extra, you know, digit out of somebody. I mean, that's his idea of a fun night.
Yeah. No, that's why Frank works for me. So I don't have to do that.
he was talking the other night about a 6% increase in projected revenues, and he actually smiled.
Frank.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you something. You cannot leave this room. I think Frank's drought is longer than Evan's.
Look,
So
you say that Evan gets some. I've seen it.
I'm sure he does. I just have to bust Evan's balls a little bit. So he's not here, so I can do it, you know.
Yeah, he does. He definitely, he gets enough share, I should say. And he even tried that with me about, you know, you're mean. You don't let him get. No, I don't fall for that shit. I mean, he's good. He doesn't touch any of the staff here, and he doesn't pick up women here. He follows that rule at least.
Yeah. Well, he knows what'll happen.
Yeah, but
So
damn, I ran into him the other night, and a woman on one arm, man on the other arm. I was like, God damn, man, what are you doing? It's just, yeah,
he's just doing Evan.
doing something all right.
Don't mind Evan. Okay. Sorry. I'm gonna let you go. I've got a meander. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll make sure I talk to him when he comes to the barbecue this weekend, because why not?
Awesome.
See what I can find out.
Thank you, Tasha.
And then she gets up and heads out. And now we're flashing over to Roscoe. Roscoe, as you're coming back to your shop, you see a flyer that's just blowing down the street, literally blowing down the street. The only reason it catches your eye is it seems awfully cheaply made to be an actual flyer. It looks like somebody turned it off on a Xerox machine of all things or something, because it's got the artifacts you get from Xerox machines that need their drums cleaned.
Okay, I'll go over and pick it up and just have a closer look at it.
When you pick it up, are you sick and tired of being left out in the cold? Does the dusk feel like a trap? Feel like you're rejected by the ivory tower? Does the night feel so lonely? And it goes on from there.
And Roscoe's face just goes ashen as he reads it, with the realization of what this is where the components for Ashe come from, most likely. And he recognizes the phone number, not the exact number, but the 414 area code. That's Milwaukee. It's like they're saying call their doctor at this number 1414, 555.
Yep. And the name of the place kind of gets you as kind of ballsy.
No kidding. The Cinder Institute.
And you picked this flyer up.
Yeah, and gonna have to let the rest of the Codery know we got a line on where they're getting their drug inputs to make Ashe. I like the last line too. You're worth your weight in gold. Now, is that pre or post Ashe?
There's an interesting question. And as you pick up this flyer and you're holding it and take it inside with you, you're going to be looking through your books, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Intelligence occult, real quick.
Okay. And do I get to use my specialties?
Well, yeah, because you've got one in blood magic type stuff. So yeah.
All right. Once more under the breach. Okay.
4. You dig through your books a bit. You're pretty sure you have a general idea of where you had it. I mean, 4 is enough for, that puts it way all the way up to challenging. So you had an idea. You don't find anything specifically about, where maybe they got the idea of this ritual from, but you do find in your book talking about consuming the dead and the vengeful spirits. And one of the things you notice in the book is the person is noted in the sides of it, in the margins, that you can sometimes figure out when one of their spirits are nearby by the reactions people have around it. It seems to influence their general mood.
Okay.
Of a number of people when they're in the area of that. So you can generally find when people are suddenly angry, violent, just out of the blue,
Okay.
that it's associated with these vengeful spirits. And
Okay.
that's one of the big notes in your book. Now, because you got this book from a kindred, there is another note, oddly enough. You don't know who put it because it's a very old book, but it says something about it. It changes the flavor of the blood.
Okay.
Now, you're a kindred. You know what that means. It's a resonance change
Right.
that goes about them. And that's not easy to do. Most people just don't switch resonances real quick.
Does it mention anything? What kind of change? Like,
Well, if they're talking about it makes them angry, then you know
right. Okay.
it would go along that line.
Okay. Is Nicholas with me?
Nope, Nick went his own thing.
Okay. He's going to show up later. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I look around and then go into the shop and immediately relay the contents of the note to the rest of the coterie over the sat phone.
And you all, as you're gathering yours, Roscoe did some research, so it's after all of your associated phone calls, but you get this text from Roscoe. I guess nobody wants to reply to that one? That weird text he sends you? I mean, it's over the sat phone. Do you send it with a picture of the flyer?
Yes.
Literally, Jackie only sends 3 letters. WTF.
Yeah, and Roscoe's going to be looking up the telephone number to see if he can locate the where they're located.
I imagine Isabella like recognizes that it's a Milwaukee number.
It's a
Very
Milwaukee
evident.
number, but you've never heard of the Cinder Institute?
Yeah, well, Jackie would know it was a Milwaukee number. Too.
Right.
She has contact.
You've never heard of the Cinder Institute, which is odd because Isabella, you were there for a number ever since the convention of Chicago.
It's probably a very new LLC.
Yeah, like she'll respond like, "Well, that's new."
Lamar responds with, "Are they serious? Someone eggplant up."
Well, obviously it's not somebody who makes it want to look like they've got a lot of money, because these are pretty poor flyers.
Yeah.
And Jackie just says, no, it's low tech. Doesn't mean they're poor.
That's true. Good point.
Word of mouth minimizes trails.
But it's interesting, though, that it outright mentions the ivory tower. Because you know what that means, of course, to us.
Of course. All right.
Don't let that flyer out of your sight.
Yeah.
Nope, I won't.
And if
I'll put it
anyone
right-
sees any other ones out and about, gather them up.
Mhm.
And then Nicholas will reply, "Be there shortly."
Okay, sounds good.
So now we flash to Nicholas. Nicholas, what are you doing?
He is really quickly talking to Allison, the secretary, funeral aide, and just giving her just be on the lookout for overdoses, probably unclaimed bodies, personal effects. Describe the drug and just tell her to be careful. And if she sees anything suspicious, But then before he heads over to Roscoe's shop, he will send out his contact for his sire.
Okay.
I know that takes a while, so he'll get that started, and then
Okay.
he'd head over to Roscoe's.
And you pull up at Roscoe, and when you get there, Roscoe's got a big tome in front of him. He's flipping through a very old book.
And Nicholas, what do you make of this? And I show him the passage and the notes in the side margins about the drug and the rituals and the effects that the vengeful spirits have.
The rituals are definite bullshit, but you're used to that. But if you want to roll to see what else, because you've got a lot of thing on spirit, I'll let you roll intelligence and occult.
Would my thanatology apply for this?
Sure, go ahead. And this whole thing is proving exactly why Amelia wasn't the best one for it. You all's sources of info are so different. 3 successes so far?
I'm willpowering you.
I figured.
So 4.
4 successes. That is not a spirit. You know what spirits can do. They can affect emotions around them. I mean, that's normal. It happens. As far as you're aware, you've never heard of spirits that can actually shift the emotion in the blood. They can do temporary emotions, but they can't really do a full shift, because what the spirits are doing is not really tweaking emotions, it's forced emotion. But in this case, by the notes that Roscoe shows you, that's not exactly what's going on here. That is a bit beyond what you're used to seeing.
This isn't spirits. This isn't. It's not something I'm familiar with. It doesn't follow what I'd expect.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask you if it was anything you felt familiar with.
Nothing came out, or nothing familiar. But your inquiry earlier had me interested, so I reached out to someone considerably more experienced and versed than myself.
Okay.
So hopefully I'll have a better answer.
Okay.
Nicholas wants to flip through this book.
Okay. I'll give it to you too.
Is I'm looking through and focusing very much on necromantic stuff at this point, trying to skim through it, see if anything jumps out to me that might necessarily or might not necessarily have jumped out to Roscoe.
Well,
Okay.
First of all, most of the rituals, as always, there's a glimmer of truth, but none of it is even close to right from what you're seeing. But the notes that seem to be written on it, whoever wrote the notes in his book, and the reason he's kept it so long, is the notes written on the side where they annotate this is garbage, and there's notes where you could, you could change it this way and get some success, those kind of notes. So it's obviously whoever noted the book knew a lot.
So almost kind of like Half-Blood Prince, where it's all of the notes in the side are yeah, this is whatever, but this is the better way to do it, sort of a thing.
And you notice that some of the notes are written in different handwriting. This book has been through a number of owners over the years, and each one adds to it.
So here's my question. Do the rituals that they are talking about, does it seem like necromantic rituals, or does it seem like blood sorcery rituals?
Some of the notes, they're all necromantic, supposedly, but the notes in the corner talk about how some of it could be done with blood sorcery.
Okay. Okay.
So it seems like somebody went through and said, yeah, okay, but that wouldn't work this way, but you could use blood sorcery to do it. It lists possible things you could use to pull it off, you know, materials that you'd want with it to set the right thing, and those kind of notes in it. You could tell Roscoe's kept this as a research, not for the contents of the book, but for the notes in the corner.
By chance, do I recognize any of the handwritings?
You've never seen Roscoe write, so no.
Well, I'm trying to figure out, because it's been through many hands. I don't necessarily know that it's been blood sorcery hands.
Give me intelligence investigation.
Oh no, that's not gonna work. So do intelligence and investigation.
2.
I'm gonna willpower.
Okay, go ahead. You willpower that one. 2. You suspect, based on some of the terms used in some of the notes, that at some point it's definitely been in the hands of a clan of death.
So I'm specifically at this point now looking to see if because I would have seen through research and stuff with my sire, just seeing if anything looks familiar from his handwriting.
No, nothing. Okay. He's not noted this one, but as you're studying through it,
like, I'm definitely going to be pointing out to Roscoe the parts that are blood sorcery, because that's more his wheelhouse, but then noting the necromancy stuff.
You do note there is something that you see in there, a little bit that talks about, you know, an alternative use for tongue. There's one that says you could use it, a note that's about could use tongue to speak other language, but also could be a great spy. And that particular script seems to have been written by a woman by the way it flows.
And like Nicholas is like reading this out, like pointing it out to Roscoe specifically about the tongue speaking languages.
God, why does the tongue always have to come up? Oh, there's that thing Benway had he sold to somebody. Oh, God, that was...
Where did you get this book?
Is this one that I got from Benway Shop? Story?
This is one you got from... Actually, you got it from a fellow Tremere, who got it from another Tremere, who got it from another Tremere. You do trace... You seem to vaguely recalled at some point it was in Savannah.
No, this is something I've been handed down to me through, well, a number of hands, but all back to Savannah, I believe, was the last, as far back as I can tell, where it came from.
Yes, it seems like this is more your wheelhouse than mine. Yeah, I mean, at this point, Nicholas would just be like looking through the books with him, just trying to see if he can.
Okay. So the two of you spend the rest of the night studying through the books.
Okay.
Now we're going to flash over to Lamar. Lamar, what are you doing?
Lamar goes to visit Stan.
Okay.
Gunman.
So you pop over to the surplus shop, and it's open because he opened all night. As he puts it, some of his best customers, or sorry, his biggest spenders come at night because, you know, they don't want to buy shit in the daylight. when you come in, he's sitting there on a stool watching TV as you come in, and he turns the TV off. Lamar.
Evening. Are there any other
how's that
customers?
gift you bought last time been working with you?
It's been good. Haven't had a lot of chances to use it, but I know it's good. And I'm actually looking forward to using it here very, very soon.
Perfect. So I know you don't generally come here without business. What you got?
Lamar will go and he will actually close the door and turn the sign to closed.
Well, that's an odd thing to do. You about to... Did I piss you off somehow?
Stan, I like to think we have a real good working relationship, but I don't need anybody walking in right now for this next part. You said you could get something for me a while back, and I'm going to need you to produce or get it for me ASAP. I hear there's this new drug out on the street called Ashe. We talked about it before.
We talked about it.
Yeah.
I was going to have you rough up the dealer that was wanting to charge me too much, and then that little shithead disappeared. I could never get you to go rough him up because, well, he's gone.
Haven't heard from him?
No. But kind of pissed me off. That's good money in that shit.
You know anyone who knows him?
Nope, he disappeared. But I tell you, I know you're not the cops.
No.
He pulls out a piece of paper and he writes something down. This is just a rumor I get. You didn't hear it from me. But if you want to find some of this shit, this is where you go. I don't know what it means. It makes no goddamn sense. And he hands you the piece of paper, and written on it is Blood Disco.
Blood Disco. All right. You, on the paper, does it say where the Blood Disco is?
No, this is just a rumor. If I knew where it was, I'd be getting me a fucking supply secured because, man, people want that shit real bad and makes good money. It made a noticeable dent in my buy an island retirement plan.
Well, I'm sorry that happened, Stan, because, you deserve an island.
Yeah, my harem couldn't sell anymore. My harem dropped by 10 already because I'm not going to be able to afford a full harem. I'm going to have to get a smaller harem, and, can't do that.
I mean, but harem, if you can afford a harem, if you got a harem, you're doing better than, let's say there are 100 dudes and you're one of the ones with the harem, you're doing better than 98 of them.
Yeah, but, it's just killing my retirement plan.
Well, look, I think I got something in mind to bring you some more business coming up, but I need to handle this little thing first. So, Stan,
I got a gift for you while you're here.
Say less. What you got?
And he pulls a cardboard box out from under the desk. Remember that camera I told you about? Cousin broke it. But now since he broke it, he didn't want it anymore. And I got the pieces.
All right. What's the price?
Honestly, you've given me enough money on this one. I mean, it's a broken camera. It's not like I can sell it and make any money off it. So I'll give it to you because, I'm not going to get any money from this selling it. And when he tips the box, it's broken pretty bad. The fucking Butterfingers dropped it, knocked it off the fucking counter.
You know what? I will take this, Stan, as a token of our good working relationship. I will take this gratefully. And, I may never get the thing working, but I can at least use it. Maybe it'll make a good conversation piece.
I mean, I've heard that you find the right people, you can get some amazing shit done. I've heard they can even recover from broken cell phones, all the data off. So I'm sure if you find the right people, you can get something off how these things work.
Huh. All right, good to know.
Science, they get all kinds of crazy shit these days.
I don't pretend to understand science. I'm a guy. I'm a man of the streets.
Neither do I. My idea of science, my idea of science is, well, that didn't stop him get a bigger caliber.
That's exactly how I see that shit. In fact, you know, I know a little bit of alchemy. Bullet plus problem equals no more problem.
I've heard that. That's why you're a good customer. That's why you bought some of the good shit.
Speaking of which, if you do come across any more ammo for that particular gun that you gave me, I'd like to buy that and have it ready to go like as soon as possible.
I'll look around and find out. Let you know. And if I get a hold of anybody that can get me that stuff, I mean, I can send somebody to ask about you at the club to let you know. I'll make sure that he's, you know, on the up and up and looks appropriate for your club.
Yeah, please do that.
You told me that, you know, it's all about appearances over there, so I got you.
Absolutely. Thank you for keeping that in mind.
That's not a problem. Sorry I couldn't give you anything other than the name of that place. And I mean, what kind of name is Blood Disco? That's a weird fucking place. It is, you know, it's what I heard.
Maybe where gangbangers hang out. Who knows?
Oh, God. I hope that, yeah, you didn't get that from me, because if the Bloods are involved, that's the last fucking thing I need.
No one will even know that we had this conversation, man.
Hey, perfect. Lamar steps out with a piece of paper that is. Are you going to send anything to the group on that one?
Yes, he's actually going to. He's going to text Disco.
But you got your sat phone, so you can text fully on the sat phones.
Blood Disco.
Has Jackie heard of that? I think she did, didn't she? Or who's heard of that?
You heard of it. Cedric mentioned it once.
Okay.
About some underground club in the Undercity called Blood Disco.
That's right, because she told Lamar about it, and he told...
and Ashe brought it up.
Ashe. Mm-hmm.
And I believe Ginny's also heard it in reference at one point, just an offhand comment, because it was linked with Azule.
Oh, right. The comment about the extra plumbing.
Yeah.
And Jackie texts back, I think that's what I told you about before, Lamar, the one under the city.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Contact said this is where Ashe can be found.
Okay. Jenny's just gonna say, "Oh, I guess that adds another question to my list."
And as the coterie is mulling over this, Jackie, you get back to your place. And when you get back to your place, Peters hands you an envelope. And you recognize the name. He said it came by courier, but the name on it is a fake name. You know it's a fake name.
Mm-hmm.
And as you take this, it's a message from your Justicar. But we're going to pause right there as you're grabbing it. We're going to flash back to Isabella. Isabella, you go in your office and find this box. The box is shoebox sized. Tied up with a bow on it.
I'm guessing it looks like just like a normal box. There's nothing suspicious about it at all.
It's shoebox size, but it's not an actual shoebox. It looks to be a very nice box, wooden box.
She'll look on it for like any labels or anything.
Nope.
She will. She'll probably do what Amelia did and just give it a good shake.
When you shake it, it shifts, and there's something in it, but you can't place what the sound it's making. But something in it, it's not hard. It kind of gives as it moves around a bit, but there's something in it.
Okay, she's gonna open it.
And when you open it up, the first thing you see, it appears to be a clump kind of a wad of black hair. But when you move it some, it kind of unrolls. And it appears to be a scalp of black hair with gray where the temples would be. And wrapped in the middle of it is a set of eye teeth.
Does that mean anything to her?
Brayden has black hair with gray at the temples.
I'm guessing he hasn't showed up yet.
No, he hasn't.
Well, shit. She texts the group and is like, I have Brayden's scalp.
Ginny's instantly just gonna say, stay there, I'm coming to you. Well, it's gonna be okay.
And Jackie, you get this text right as you have this envelope in your hand.
She hasn't even checked the text right now.
Okay. And I turn it to Jackie as she's holding this envelope.
She opens the envelope, and inside is a folded documents. She takes out the documents, unfolds them, and it is a report. On Antoine H. Delacour. She's scanning it for what history Juliet was able to get from him, on him. And then she gets down to information about the sire. She folds up the document, sticks it back in the envelope, walks to her safe, puts it in the safe and secures it. Etienne approaches her.
Everything okay, ma'am?
You know it is not.
I have to ask that, ma'am. Why do you think I walked over here? I could sense it. You feel it.
My son is in this city, and he is Nosferatu.
I'm right there. It's where we end Season 7, Episode 9 of Windy City After Dark. They've been put on the trail of the Ashfinders, but at the same time, Jackie, that message she passed to Parr, or to Dawn to pass up to her Justicar, finally came back. Isabella, you have a scalp and eye teeth in a box. A very pointed message. And everyone in the group got their own little piece of the Ashfinder's puzzle, which only goes to show Amelia may be a nosy bitch, but one person will never have all the pieces you need to put shit together. And I'd like to thank my players and you, the viewers. Of course, the player vote. Everybody that was there last session gets the player vote. Everyone was there last session, right? Yeah. So everybody gets the player vote this week. Pop over to our Discord, everybody. Over on the Discord is where you'll see the players vote on who gets the player vote XP this week. Please talk to the cast in the Chi-Town chat and talk to the cast about, what you thought of the show. So please pop over there. We also do weekly Zoom hangouts, and it's a great little place to hang out. If you want to catch our back episodes, please pop over to our YouTube, get our back episodes of this, back episodes of Dune, Mage, Werewolf, Changeling, Wraith, we got a lot of World of Darkness. We got a lot of non-World of Darkness, Monster Hearts, Bluebeard's Bride, Paranoia, Zasarkala. Dear God, we got a lot of content. 3 years we've been hustling content, and there's a lot on the YouTube. Check it out. If you want to support some amazing content creators like ones you see in this show, right over there in chat, Mischievous Red and the Ivy Raven, both of them stream on their own channel. You can go over there. They love chatting. They love people hanging out. So give them a follow on Twitch there and pop over when you see them go live and hang out with them and just, talk. Show them some love, some of that stabber love. That doesn't mean stab them. Just show them some stabber love, though. If you want to check out some good Windy City merch, check out our merch store. We've got things like these posters, mugs, T-shirts, Camp Wish a Motherfucker Would T-shirt. And eventually we're going to be adding more stuff. Now that our schedule has calmed down, we might actually, between seasons, get a chance to do some actual fucking merchandise stuff. We hope, depending. Murphy says no. Murphy's Law always fucks that up. And if you want to support the players, please, everybody, bits and donations, they go to the players. It is a way for the viewers to show thanks for all the hard work these players put into playing with us. If you want to support the studio...
I was going to say, if you love the players, show us your biddies.
I'll leave it at that. If you want to support the studio, subscribe here on Twitch or pop over to our coffee. That's how you support the studio. But the studio does not keep the bits and donations. Those go to the players. It's our way of showing thanks to the players, because if we could afford to pay people as full-time playing it, we would, if we could afford to do it. But bits and donations is the only way. We do it because we enjoy it. We do not content lock anything behind paywalls. But every once in a while, the players like to get themselves some Starbucks.
And buy Mama and Shanky a coffee. For real.
But if you can't afford it, please don't.
Please don't.
Don't put yourself in a bad situation.
We do not want you giving us money when you need it for food, shelter, clothing, your own needs.
And
okay?
medical, this is America.
And medical,
bills.
yes.
So
please don't put yourself in a bind to help us.
Yep.
Okay?
And I'm going to turn it over to my wife so she can do the schedule, which is thankfully not as busy as it has been.
No, it still is busy.
Still busy, not as busy.
No, it still is busy. It still is busy. Yes. So thank you for joining us for season 7, episode 9 of Windy City After Dark. Good shit, y'all. And then on Tuesday, we are having our season 1 Demon live cast Q&A at 8 p.m. Eastern. Join all 3 of us ladies at this table, along with the 3 guys that play with us and Shanky, as we are not in character, but you can come and pepper us with all kinds of intriguing questions, and we'll be happy to answer them about our characters, about things that happened in the season, what we see going forward, all kinds of stuff. That's, again, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Then on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we have Dune, Blood-Soaked Sands, run by Ravnos Archon, with Shanky and myself as players, along with Junie Von Esch and Alexian Starr. We always record on Thursdays for Windy City, so I have no idea what we're doing tomorrow in our next session, so I have no idea what we're going to be doing on the 12th after you view this episode. So, but it was messed up the last time we played. So join us on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern to see if any of us have survived thus far and what's going on Arrakis. Then on Saturday, the 13th at 3 p.m. Eastern, Dr. Tiss, because she got her PhD. Oh, yes. And she is going to be running London Esoteric Society, our Call of Cthulhu 7E stream. Set in Victorian London, the London Esoteric Society is a group of investigators that are investigating sus cult stuff and wanting to summon elder things and wanting to basically go insane and read all the books, and when they should be burning all the books, and they are burning through their luck instead at an alarming rate. So join them Saturday for a fun romp at 3 p.m. Eastern. Then we will be back here on Sunday, the 14th of August at 5 p.m. Eastern with Season 7, Episode 10 of Windy City After Dark, season finale. Y'all.
Woohoo!
Woohoo, but y'all.
No, woohoo in terms of story.
Yeah,
Woohoo.
it's going to be good story. We got some stuff planned for y'all.
Yep.
Y'all going to love it.
It only took us 7 seasons, but now we're fully into the cult stuff, everybody. So it's happening. And as always, as we exit these streams, please, everybody, take mental health seriously. Make sure you're reaching out to those around you. Make sure you're checking in with them. Please try to make sure people are okay. And a lot of people aren't. If you suffer from mental health issues, like many of us do, myself included, please don't hesitate to reach out to those around you, your own support network, because it's okay to not be okay, and there's nothing wrong with saying you need help once in a while. But I know a lot of people don't feel they can do that, and if you can't, in chat right now is a list of numbers you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and somebody will be on the other end of the line to help you. And if you're not in the U.S., you can go to that website, put in the country you're in, and find out support lines in your country, because everybody, it's a tough time, and you need to take care of yourselves, and you need to make sure you do what you have to for your own mental health. So that's very important, and it means a lot to us over here. And now I can turn it over to my wife because she has her portion as we wrap up this episode.
I'm going to say one coping mechanism for mental illness is doing self-care. Doing self-care for yourself. That is not selfish at all. Take time, even if it's only a little bit of time. I mean, I know I'm a very busy person. I still can find about an hour a day that I can just focus on me. And I do so. But you may not be able to find that hour. You might only find 10, 15 minutes. That's okay. Do something that is just for you, not for anyone else. Something that makes you feel good, or if you are not capable of feeling good, something that gives you entertainment, something that gives you a bit of distraction from all the stress, something that kind of replenishes you, because we need that to recharge empathy batteries and the capacity to actually feel things so that we don't become apathetic. So do that. Also, employee assistance program, if you have access to that or you are married to someone that has that as part of their benefits package with whomever they work for, your entire household can use that for counseling. You get up to a certain number of sessions each year with it free. So you can use that for counseling. You can also use it to get referrals for providers in your area if you need that. You can also use it for a variety of other things like financial planning and all kinds of stuff. So utilize that. It's basically free for y'all because the company foots the bill on that, and it's all confidential. Your company doesn't get to know what you're using it for. They just get a utilization report of how many people are using the services. That's all. And I'm McStabber, and the nicest mean nurse you're ever going to meet. Timber Brad here is the meanest nice nurse you're ever going to meet. And we're going to say,
Please get your goddamn shots.
That's
please.
right. That's right. Get your COVID shots. When it's available, get your monkeypox shots, because it's already starting to get rolled out in certain places. DC has a vaccine right now. Maryland does not, but DC does. And get your monkeypox shot. The monkeypox is not an STD. It is not a sexually transmitted disease. It is not a gay disease. It is literally like smallpox. It is communicable, contagious, from contact, from airborne. You need to get vaccinated. Okay? That's why smallpox became such a pretty much non-issue for the developed world, because vaccines pretty much made it so. So get your vaccine for monkeypox, okay? And honestly, make sure your other vaccines are up to date, because polio is making a comeback. Hospitals are overwhelmed with people because people are stupid and not getting vaccinated and not social distancing and not doing basic hygiene and protection. So really, quit it. And Texas is trying to sue the government for the executive order that the president signed that says hospitals can provide emergency abortion care. Yeah, that's a whole ass thing. They're just like, here, hold my beer. I'm going to sue the feds, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so Beto O'Rourke is running again to replace Abbott. Please vote for him. The man's got common fucking sense. Abbott does not. Abbott is a fucking coward. He didn't even show up to any of the fucking funerals for Uvalde. He's a fucking coward. He is a chicken shit, yellow-bellied coward.
He's all hat, no cattle.
Exactly. For real. Abortions are health care, plain and simple. Literally, people with rheumatoid arthritis and lupus can't get medications because it's used to treat ectopic pregnancies. It's bad, y'all. It's bad. And Republicans want to not only ban abortion, they want to ban birth control, too. And if you don't vote for Democrats this November during the midterm elections, if they take control of the House and Senate, even a little bit, they are going to institute a nationwide ban on abortion and birth control.
And cut Social Security
And
Medicaid.
and cut Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare. Don't think they're just coming for women. They come in for people that are disabled, that already don't get enough money.
And Social Security is not an entitlement.
No,
You pay
we
into
paid
it.
into that.
You pay into it when you have a job. You
Yeah, and they're
pay
going
into
to
it.
take your money. Because Republicans are all about greed and money and controlling people so that they can make more money. Just like they don't care about veterans. They had to be bullied into actually voting for the PACT Act. They had to be bullied into it because they realized they were fucking around with veterans that were going to stop voting for them. You know, they don't care that women are going to stop voting for them, but they care about the veterans because they use that as a selling point for their party. So literally, they had to be bullied into that because they weren't going to do that because they don't care about fucking veterans. They only care about the profits they make off of war. Vote fucking blue. Yes, I'm on a fucking soapbox, y'all. Vote fucking blue.
Also, no offense, if you think your vote doesn't count, look at the state of Kansas.
Look at Kansas.
We kept abortion legal in the fucking state of Kansas.
Yes.
Because people actually got out and fucking voted. So if you think voting is bullshit, go fucking vote.
Go fucking vote. Because what you do at your local and state level reflects federally. Go vote. Every fucking election, every fucking primary, vote. Because your input matters in shaping what our country becomes. Please. We're gonna impeach some fucking Supreme Court justices. We are gonna fucking criminally fucking charge some goddamn politicians for January 6th. What's that guy's name that was lying on, that committed perjury?
That's a lot. Not Alex Jones was doing it, but he,
Yeah, the guy that denied fucking Sandy Hook said it was a fucking hoax.
He's not getting jailed, but he's got hit with a few million.
Yeah,
already.
he's gonna be paying millions for his fucking misinformation.
Yeah, but that's sidetracking.
But seriously, y'all, the right wing is in goddamn trouble if we all vote blue. So do it. And fuck Putin.
Fuck Putin.
And seriously, fuck the narcissists in the gaming community. Fuck the narcissists in the politics. Enough's enough with that bullshit. They are garbage people, and we need to get them out.
Be a good neighbor. Be Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers was a very good man most of his life. So be a good neighbor. Don't act like Satine or Jameson Stone. Please be a good neighbor. And now that we're done on our soapbox, as Mama called it, good night, everybody. We'll see you for the season finale or the next stream. Pick one. Good night.